this trade impact the already stacked Rams defense?
Wow. I mean, a healthy Von Miller is still a top 3, top 5 pass rushing threat in the National Football League. You already have the most dominant football player on the defense, and maybe even in all of football on that defense, in Aaron Donald. And then you have one of the most dominant corners in the game in Jalen Ramsey. You have now basically added a triceratops to your defensive front where if you're triple teaming Aaron Donald and still having issues, now you add Von Miller, who in a one-on-one or a double team scenario is virtually unblockable, just like Aaron Donald. You are going to have to now transition, possibly in theory, to double tight end, which they call 12 personnel or 22 personnel, the first number being how many backs, the second number being how many tight ends. You are going to have to max protect in order to be able to keep your quarterback safe, thus leading to who you're showing right now in Jalen Ramsey. And this defensive backfield is pretty talented as well, Jalen Ramsey being the stalwart of that unit. These balls are going to have to come out quick. They're going to have to come out fast. So now you're going to see a more opportunistic secondary, and you should be looking at a defense that actually starts to rack up more turnovers, just basically process of elimination by the amount of pressure that these guys are going to put on quarterbacks.
Yeah, and listen, if you're the Rams, if we were to do, the all-decade team of the last 10 years, you right now probably have the number 1 D tackle, the number 1 outside linebacker, and the number 1 corner. And D tackle and corner are still in their primes. And as LaVar said, if Von Miller's able to stay healthy, he's still an excellent, excellent player. By the way, I love the trade for the Broncos. The Broncos were going to lose Von Miller this offseason and get a compensatory pick. Instead, they trade him away and get a second and a third-round pick. The Broncos management knew they were not winning anything this year, so this is a great trade for the Broncos long-term. For the Rams, I understand why they did it, but we cannot act like there is not risk associated with it. And so, Broussard, I'm going to tell a very quick story about a friend of mine. I have a dear friend who's an inventor, and he was just convinced, Broussard, he was this close to a game-changing invention. And he quit his job to pursue it. And then he maxed out all his credit cards to pursue it. And he was like, oh, I'm there. And then he took all the equity out of his house to pursue it. And he didn't quite get it. And now, I love him to death, but, he's starting his life over because he went all in and lost. And the Rams, very interestingly, put out a tweet, "We're all in." And the picture they used was Teddy KGB in Rounders. But the problem is Teddy KGB lost that hand in Rounders and lost all his money. And so, LaVar, I'll throw to you quickly. The Rams have no cap space moving forward and no draft picks for the next few years, so they can't go further all in. They have no way to do it. If they don't win the Super Bowl, they have really, set themselves back with the moves of the last few years as far as being able to be consistent contenders. If they win the Super Bowl, LaVar, then who cares? But they are more all in than any team I can ever remember in the NFL.
So here's the take, right? Because it's a excellent analogy to use with your inventor friend. And good luck to your inventor friend. I enjoy serial entrepreneurs and inventors. I hope it works out for you, my friend.
Doesn't it?
Listen, the thing about this is you are looking at an all-in scenario because they do not have draft stock with what they're doing, what Les Miles has done. But with that being said, you don't necessarily have to win the Super Bowl. You're all in to win the Super Bowl. If you get a good showing, if you get close to the Super Bowl, if you make it to the Super Bowl, if you don't quite win the Super Bowl, then the value of your players still holds steady, either at that floor level or it grows, right? So you got to look at it. We're using analogies. Look at this analogy of real estate. You could have money in the bank, and that money may not be working for you as well as it would be working if you put it in real estate, right? So look at these players that you have. You just mentioned 3 number 1 guys in the Rams football ring of fame right now, and those 3 defensive guys. Okay, how many draft picks do you think are connected to a trade with those 3 guys? That's where your value is. If you're winning, you have those stalwarts. If you're winning, who else emerges as a star within this group of football players? So now your trade value, because if you win the Super Bowl, you're not changing your draft status anyway, right? So it does not help you other than to maintain the value of the players you have on your roster. Is that a Sam? Is that a Matthew Stafford? Is it a Aaron Donald? Is it a Von Miller? Is it a Jalen Ramsey? Do you get rid of these guys and get those picks back now that you got your Super Bowl? It doesn't happen the way it happens in Tampa. Everybody isn't coming back. It isn't the dream scenario every single time to get all of the players back from a Super Bowl run team. And in fact, you want to get that value from those players while it's at its highest, Chris.
No, I hear you, LaVar. And I'm with you on the Rams improving themselves with Von Miller. That was a great breakdown of their defense. Nick, I have a sneaking suspicion, first of all, that this inventor friend of yours is fictional. All right, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just a sneaking suspicion. Okay, no, that's number 1. How many people know inventors? I mean, really. But beyond that,
you never heard his name.
I'm all down for being all
broke now.
I'm all down for being all in. All right, you have a very small window to win a Super Bowl. And the Rams are right there. They are very close. They got a great offense. They feel like they got a much better quarterback than they had the last time where they were there. And now you strengthen the defense. Von Miller, if healthy, will be better playing with Aaron Donald. And Donald, believe it or not, will even be better because now they got to worry about Von Miller. So I think this is great for the Rams. And, Nick, they have been very good at late round draft picks or any 2nd, 3rd round draft picks. Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, Van Jefferson.
But they're out of those now, too.
They know what they're doing. Well, that means they'll be good in the 5th round.
They already traded a 1st.
5th rounds, too.
Okay, yeah.
They'll be okay. Look, go all in. All right, they've been to the Super Bowl. They don't want to just get there. They are in it to win it. I like it. Had Green Bay had this mentality for the past decade, with Aaron Rodgers, maybe they'd have more than one Super Bowl with him.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.